I love this Queens thing. This chair outside the
The
restaurant.
one chair sitting outside the restaurant?
So that people can, like...
Chill out. Here we are at Dunkin' Donuts, 30th Ave, Astoria. Yeah, I'm already recording. I'm there.
We could just stand out here and do it. We don't have to go into the Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, but that's going to be so much more fun to do that, right?
Look at all these people in the Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't...
I care.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to get myself a Captain America culotta because it's ridiculous. And we're going to talk about it. These are the Long and Shortbox Writers. Very rarely in the same place, and that makes me happy.
So we're going to go inside, and we're going to get the culotta for John, and we'll see you in a minute.
Yeah. Hi there. I'm going to have the Captain America culotta, and I hope you still have some of the Captain America donuts. Or you're out? It looks like you're out. Yeah. Oh, fantastic, yeah. So, one of each, so help me God. The Captain America culotta. Anyway, I posted stuff on Flickr when I first saw that this whole promotion existed. I know Josh is a Captain America fan, and it just seemed worth having some conversation about this insanity and about the insanity that circles around it. But
so I'm gonna kindly offer that there is absolutely nothing insane about this. This is exactly right.
It is good and just and true.
Not good and just and true, but right. That this is a big blockbuster movie, and they're advertising how they advertise big blockbuster movies. This has nothing to do with comics, John.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with comics.
Well, that's your argument, and I can't entirely disagree with that.
I remember you talking about that terrible Daredevil movie fondly because it's cut quick, like a comic book.
That's right. I forgot about
that. Like a comic book, which is a fair point. And I think you're right about mediums borrowing from other mediums. And I think that's potentially possibly true in movies and film, in movies and comics in particular. The film critic Pauline Kael, who's really famous, used to describe things not pejoratively as comic booky, as not only not pejoratively.
Because I have
really,
only seen that
really positive.
Pejorative.
Things that Pauline Kael liked were often described as classic comics. But Kael stood for things that were a little more lore, a little more cool than really high art film. A little more visceral, really, I think.
I think that some films have done some really interesting things, like Road to Perdition, specifically. Did some really remarkable framing techniques, creating this sort of two separate images, or an image within an image, that created a great feeling. They were constantly using windows or door frames to frame the action. And for me, it made it feel a little bit more like the graphic novel.
No matter how true that is, there's still no such thing as a comic book movie. And that when people say comic book movie, what they mean is something that was adapted from comics into a movie, which is, of course, now a thing. People write comics so that they can be adapted into movies.
Right. It's an economic model for some of them. Some people are creating prose novels or comics now expressly because they want them to eventually be movies. And is that bad for comics as an artistic medium? Maybe. But it's good for those individual people if they pull it off. And there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to play on a couple sides of the aisle. Joe Casey, and with the other people that make up the Man of Action Studios group, they're the people that put together Ben 10 for Cartoon Network, and they've been hugely successful with that. And that allows them to be free. I know Joe Casey in specific has said this in interviews, that it allows him to be free to pick and choose his projects in comics, and that's a good thing. It's what other people get. A movie makes a ton of money, and the actors in it and the director get to take their time in choosing the next project if it goes well. And the same thing with prose writers. Thomas Pynchon has only written 25 books or something. No, more like 9 books in 25 years, something like that. And his stuff is brilliant. Gravity's Rainbow, The Crying of Lot 49. He's huge. And he's actually one of my favorites. And he only puts out a book every 5, 6, 7 years or something like that. And he has that luxury because he makes a ton of money. And comics aren't at that scale, which is frustrating to me. Comics isn't literature. Comics is its entire own thing, separate from film and from literature. It's something else. It exists kind of in between, but more importantly, it's just its own pillar. It's another. Now I'm going to take a bite of the Captain America donut.
And while John's taking a bite, I think he's right about the literature thing. What I meant was it was high art rather than low art, or something like that.
Yeah. Or that more importantly, that it's art.
Right.
Comics are
Right.
art. Comics can be good.
More importantly, that it's art, because comics should be low art, or some
Right.
comics should be low art, and there's nothing wrong with low art.
Right. There's some comics are going to be high art, some are going to be low art, some are going to be somewhere in between,
Right.
some are going to be good,
and
some
no
are
one
going to be bad.
no one will question that comics can't be high art.
The pleasant surprise of the Captain America donut that I received when I actually ate one previous is it's got jelly in it. What made me feel positive about the Scott Pilgrim movie? Because it made them a ton of money. Oni saw some of that money. Brian Lee O'Malley saw some of that money. And that, I'm sure, is allowing him to take his time in deciding what he wants to do to follow up Scott Pilgrim. Then they get the benefit of that time, and I think that's a good thing for at least the one.
A movie is a movie, and a comic book is a comic book. And what it is it's a comic book character movie. And I am of the opinion that when we can separate the medium from fandom, we've won.
I just had my first sip of the Captain America Gelato. Tastes kind of like childhood, overly sugary, cherry, whatnot. I did not go for the quote-unquote Triforce something, whatever it's called, that had the three different... Okay, brain freeze is hitting me. This is going onto the floor for now.
Anyway, that's us on this absurdity that is the Captain America Culotta. And I'm gonna let John finish this and hopefully not die of a diabetic coma. There it is, in all its glory.
The Captain America Culotta.
So
We're
this
on,
says Josh Copen and John Gorga for the Long and Shortbox of it. No, longandshortbox.com. Now,
We are here. This is 30th Ave in Astoria, Queens, New York. These guys were actually really awesome to us. I don't think the donut was supposed to be free, and the donut was free.
it's also 11:30 at night. The donut's been sitting there for 12 hours.
That's probably
Or maybe
true.
closer to 16.
So, thanks for doing this with me, Josh. Thanks for watching, folks. Adios.